Gurana Vaishnavascha Shri Rupam Sagratam Saganraganathvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sarabhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Saganlalita Shri Vishakhanitamascha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुत देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभक्ष कृपा सिन्धुभयैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. So I welcome you all for this session in Srimad Bhagavatam. We are doing Canto 5, Chapter 16. The verse is 26. It's a bit difficult verse, I think so. Repeat nahi kar payenge. You won't be able to repeat after me. I'll just read the verse for all of you. Kuranga kurara kusumba Vaikanka trikuta shishara Patanga ruchaka nishada Shinivasa kapila shankha Vaidure jarudi hansa Rishbha naga kalanjara Narada deo vimashyati Gireo mero karinakya Iva Keshra Bhuta Mula Deshe Parita Upkalapata. So this is actually a prose rather than a verse. So I'll do the meaning. Just repeat the meanings after me. Word meaning and translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So we are actually doing a chapter, the description of Jambu Dvipa. So what is Jambu Dvipa and what happens in Jambu Dvipa? We are talking about that here. So Shukdev Goswami is telling Parikshit Maharaj every detail about the material world because Parikshit Maharaj is very inquisitive that who Krishna is, what we should do and where we are. What is this, where the planet we are in? So what is the importance of this planet? So he is in Bharatvarsha. So he's the one, today's common name India, that's Bharatvarsha. So this is all description coming from the Bhagavatam about Jambu Dvipa. So what is Jambu Dvipa? So this is, just repeat this, then we'll go back to the main shloka. Let's read the word meanings. You can repeat after me. Kuranga, Kuranga. Kurara, Kurara. Kusumbha, Vaikanka, Trikuta, Shishara, Patanga, Ruchaka, Nishada, Shinivasa, Kapila, Shankha, Vaidurya, Jarudi, Hansa, Rishabha, Naga, Kalanjara, Narada. The names of the mountains. So these are all the mountains. Then that says Adhya and so on. Vimshati Girya, 20 mountains. Mero, the mountain of Sumeru mountain. Karinikaya, the wall of the lotus. Eva, like. Keshra Bhuta, as filaments. Mula Deshe, at the base. Paritaha, all around. Upkalpita, arranged by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So please repeat the translation after me. There are other mountains beautifully arranged around the foot of Mount Meru, like the filaments, around the whorl of a lotus flower. Their names are Kuranga, Kurara, Kusumbha, Vaikanka, Trikuta, Shishara, Patanga, Ruchaka, Nishada, Srinivasa, Kapila, Sankha, Vaidurya, Jarudi, Hamsa, Rishabha, Naga, Kalanjara, and Narada. So these are the actual, talking about the Mount Meru, the foothill of Mount Meru, and all the name of the mountains are there. So if we go to the chapter 16, the beginning, and the gist is given there, it says, when describing the character of Maharaj Priyavrata and his descendants, Shukdev Goswami also described the Meru Parvat. So Priyavrata is the son of Swayambhuva Manu and the Shatrupa, and is the brother of Devahuti. So Priyavrata initially wanted to renounce the world and engage in bhakti. But on the request of Lord Brahma, he accepted the responsibility of ruling the universe. So Priyavrata preferred spiritual life and did not want to get entangled in kingship. But Brahmaji instructed him, and then he actually got married and then got 10 sons and 1 daughter. And like this, 3 sons became celibate yogis. 7 ruled the 7 islands created by the father. Priyavrata actually he went around with his chariot and he demarcated 7 oceans in the 7 continents. He did that. So now we go for the main verse here. So that talks about how it is important in this scenario about Jambudvipa. What is Jambudvipa and how Jambudvipa is so important in our bhakti. So Bhagavatam talks about Jambudvipa. Prabhupada explains the universe is divided into different dvipas surrounded by oceans, and we know Shir Sagar. The different oceans have different the constituents of that. There is milk ocean, there is the buttermilk ocean, there is the liquor ocean, there is the different juices ocean. So Jambudvipa is the central dvip. Dvip means island, and it is the middle of the universe. It is described in the previous verses that there is this big universe, and in the middle of the universe is Jambudvipa. This is the island, the Jambudvipa called. And it is the most important one. Why it is most important? Because it is Bharatavarsha. It is the most important one in the middle of the universe. That is one because Bharatavarsha, that is India into it, it lies within it, in the middle of the Dvipa, just in the middle of the Jambudvipa. So the name Jambudvipa comes from a jambu tree, and that grows there, whose juice forms the Jambu river. So it is among the 9 Varshas, the 9 islands, the 9 divisions that were created, each ruled by a great devotee king. And among them, Bharatvarsha is considered most significant. So Bharat Bhumi Haile Janam, that's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says. Those who have taken birth in Bharat Bhumi, they are very, very fortunate. And Bharatvarsha is considered most significant because here human beings, why it is most significant? Because the human beings can perform devotional service. Or kahin pe, nowhere else in the world you will be aware that you have to do bhakti other than India, other than Bharatvarsha. So it was called Bharatoli, but the India and the name was given by the Britishers, but it was always known as Bharat. So Bharatvarsha is considered most significant, and human beings, because they can perform devotional service. Even the Bharatvarsha is called, India is called the spiritual capital of the world. It is the spiritual capital for the whole of the world. I was preaching in 2013, I was first time in Tokyo preaching, and then I met a girl, a Japanese girl. She had come to the temple, and I just talking to her, and she said that she was 23, 24 at that time. And she told me, she said that I travel to India. Whenever I feel low, I travel to India because to find some satisfaction there. She is the daughter of a big businessman there. Filthy rich people they are in Tokyo. Then she said that always she felt very discontent, and she used to travel to Kashi and travel to south of India, and she found a lot of peace and happiness in India. It's very vibrant, she said. It's so energetic. You feel all the energy in India. And imagine those who live in India, they don't feel that. So that is the karmas. They invite their karmas, their roots invite them there back. So it is there that Bharatvarsha is considered most significant because here human beings can perform devotional service and attain liberation and go out of the cycle of birth and death. It cannot happen nowhere else in the world. It's only India. It's only the Bharatvarsha. Those who are born there, they naturally get connected to the roots. So in the center of the Jambu Dvipa now, so among the Bharatvarsha is considered most important, and in the center of the Jambu Dvipa is Mount Meru. And we are talking about today about Mount Meru. At the foothills of Mount Meru, what all other small mountains are there. So in the center of Jambu Dvipa is Mount Meru. Mount Meru is the golden mountain. It glitters, it's gold in color. And it considered the axis of the universe. Around it is arranged all the Varshas. All the divisions are all around it. Center is the Mount Meru of Jambudvipa. So Jambudvipa in short is the central island of the material universe described in this canto 5. And some of us would think, oh, it's all imaginary. Bhagavatam looks to be very imaginary. It's imaginative. It looks to be very fancy. But it's not that. Prabhupada clearly says this is the actual. We may believe it or not, but it is real. So Jambudvipa is the central island of the material universe, described here, with Bharatvarsha, earth, our earth, as its most important part. Because here the whole earth was called Bharatvarsha. It's not we are just talking about now this India is smaller, but the whole was Bharatvarsha. We know Dhruv Maharaj ruled it, Priyavrat ruled it, everybody ruled the whole of the earth. And it's the most important part because here the human soul can awaken the love for God through bhakti. So this is, now the Bharatvarsha has come to a smaller part because of the Kali Yuga has entered everywhere. And this part of India is the last one to receive Kali Yuga, where we live now. And Prabhupada used to say, the Kali Yuga entered India through Bombay. He clearly mentions, through Bombay, the Kali Yuga entered India. I still remember my father used to tell that nobody was aware of liquor even, of beer or alcohol in India. Till the Britishers, they introduced everything. He said his forefathers, his father, his grandfather, they all used to have milk, and tea was also not, nobody knew tea even. What to say of other hard liquors. So see what the Britishers brought with them. And it says here that this Jambudvipa is actually the place where, the middle of Jambudvipa, where Mother Earth, the Bharatvarsha is the most important. And we are very fortunate. We are all the more fortunate that in this Bharatvarsha, what is there is the ISKCON has been formed. Though ISKCON came from New York, Prabhupada established it there, but he brought it back to India. And that is how it grew up, and that is how the preaching went on, and that is how we realized what bhakti is, through the mercy of the spiritual father. So through the mercy of the grand spiritual father, that is Srila Prabhupada. So some people think that these verses, why do we read so much about the names of Kuranga, all these names that you have heard now. And someone asked Guru Maharaj in his class that why do we read all these here? It's difficult to remember everything, what we're reading here. But then he said, every word of Bhagavatam is very important. It gives you the insight into Bhagavatam, how the world is, how big the cosmology is. The cosmic manifestation, it's not a small thing. It's a huge thing for a small brain to understand. But then you can see the greatness of the Supreme Lord into this. That how great the Supreme Lord is. How big the creation is. That we with our little brains can't understand it. But then imagine the Supreme Lord, how great He is, how big His brain is. We can't even go into it. And sometimes we blame Krishna for everything that's coming in our lives. Any suffering that comes in our life, we blame him. He is handling such a big cosmology. He is handling such a big... This is one earth. There are millions of earths. There are millions of Brahmands. We are just one speck, little speck that is insignificant on that earth. There are millions of earths, and in one of those earths, we are there. And in one of those earths, there is this Jambudvipa. And in that, there is Bharatvarsha. And there we are in that map, a tiny, tiny, tiniest speck. And then and Krishna is so merciful upon us that he has a connection with us also. We can establish the connection to him. And this is the force of that place, the Jambudvipa. Bharatvarsha, our birth there. We could have taken birth in any other planet, but we would not have gone back to Godhead. Not taken the process to going back to Godhead. But this process is the mercy of Krishna, that he blessed us. He gave us the birth in Bharatvarsha, the so-called India now. We took birth there. We came across the spiritual knowledge, and that's how it is. So here also, it says, surrounding Sumeru mountain like filaments of the whirl of a lotus are 20 mountain ranges. So these are the 20 mountain ranges we are talking about, such as Kuranga, Kurara, Kusumba, Vaikanka, Trikuta. And to the east of the Sumeru are the mountains Jatrat and Devakuta. To the west are Pavana and Pariyatra. And to the south are Kailash and Karavira. And to the north, Trishringa and Makara. So these 8 mountains are about 18,000 yojans long and 2,000 yojans wide. So it is again describing how huge everything is. So how difficult for us is to understand this. So, but with the mercy of the spiritual master, this is all contained by Veda Vyasji in this Bhagavatam Puran. So that is why Bhagavatam has got Nam, it says, the Bhagavad Gita has got Nam, Roop and Gun of Krishna, the name, qualities and form of Krishna. That is in the Bhagavad Gita. But in the Bhagavatam we have Nam, Roop, Gun and Leelas. The pastimes are included in Bhagavatam. So these Bhagavatam pastimes, these pastimes, they help us to understand how Krishna's cosmology is working, how this cosmic manifestation happens, and how the devotees are surrendered to Krishna. So here Parikshit Maharaj is asking Shukdev Goswami, "O Brahmana, you have already informed me the radius of Bhumandal. Now he wants to know more." So you see his inquisitiveness is increasing day by day. He's got just 7 days. And in those 7 days he wants to know everything. Day and night he's talking about the Supreme Lord. He's inquiring, he's questioning Shukdev Goswami day and night. Why? Because he wants to know everything in detail. And sometimes you think, oh, we're gonna live like 50, 60 years. What time pada? We've got a lot of time, you know. We are just 30, we are just 20s, we are just 40, we are just 50. A lot of time is still there. But Parikshit Maharaj has got 7 days. And day and night he is asking only one thing, questioning and questioning. His questions are not, his thirst actually is not quenching. He wants to know more and more about Krishna. And we don't indulge. We say we have got a lot of work. We don't have time. We don't have time to read the Bhagavatam. We don't have time to read Bhagavad Gita. We don't have time to hear Bhagavatam or hear Bhagavad Gita. We have excuses. But here, see the pure devotee of the Lord, Parikshit Maharaj, he is inquiring and inquiring and inquiring. That is a devotee who is always very inquisitive. That's why Krishna says, 4 kinds of people come to me. First, those who want money, they come to me. Second, those who are in distress, they come to me. Third, those who are inquisitive, come to me. Fourth, those who have knowledge, come to me. Knowledge about me, knowledge about the cosmos, they come to me. And then Krishna is asked again by Arjuna, who is most dear to you? Out of these 4, whom do you find most dear? Then Krishna says, out of these 4, the most dear to me is the one who practices devotional life on the basis of the pure knowledge. He is very dear to me. So those who come due to knowledge to Krishna, Krishna loves them, but then they become dear to Krishna when they practice devotional life according to the pure knowledge. That is how it is. So one should practice devotional life. And that is what Parikshit Maharaj wants to know more and more about devotional life. What is that? And here he is being told by Shukdev Goswami, the best of the speakers, the best of the person who heard from his father, Vyasadevji, and Vyasadevji is again not different to Krishna. He is again he gave this literary incarnation of Srimad Bhagavatam. This is Krishna's literary incarnation. Krishna in the form of a grantha. Bhagavatam is not an ordinary scripture. It is Krishna in the form of the scripture. Krishna comes to your home. This is Bhagavat. And this is person, Prabhupada, like his divine grace, Srila Prabhupada. He's a Bhagavat. He's Bhagavatam personified in the form of the spiritual father. He's there. He gave this Bhagavatam to us, made it so simple. He translated it day and night. Whenever he found time, he was giving translations to this pure scripture. In the middle of the night, he used to get up and write this for us to read. And if we don't get time to read, or if we don't get the time to listen to it, then we are very unfortunate. He gave so much precious time to only give this to us. Till his last breath, he was translating. He was giving this commentary for us so that we may get the benefit and we may go hard on the process of devotional life. We may take to the process this is a difficult journey. Krishna says it's very easy. It's saral and sukham. He says it's very simple. Devotional life is very simple and it'll give you a lot of pleasure. Then we say, oh, it's very simple and it's going to give us a lot of pleasure. But it's very difficult to do it. It's very simple. You just have to chant. You just have to sing the glories. You just have to eat prasadam. You just have to follow 4 regulative principles along with it. It's very simple, but it's most difficult to follow. Because there are many hindrances that will come in your way. And first is, our mind doesn't go with us. And we are not inquisitive at all. We just accept it's okay. Or if you say so, I'll do it. But we are not inquisitive at all. We don't want to know. We don't want to go deep further into the scriptures. Unless we go deep into the scriptures, how will we actually become grave? We have to become grave. Bhakti mein gambhir hona padta hai. You have to be serious. Serious doesn't mean we won't smile, we won't laugh, we won't dance. Prabhupada gave it. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave it. Dance and sing and go back to Godhead. So you have to be happy all the time when dancing and singing. Only a happy person can dance and sing. A sad person cannot sing and dance. So everybody in the world asks why the Hare Krishna people are so happy. Why do they're always happy. They always have smiling faces. Once I was traveling, I was from Australia only. I was traveling back. I was at the airport. And a lady came and she said, can I embrace you? I want to hug you. I love Hare Krishna people. Do you have any prasad with you? I said, sorry, I'm not carrying any cookie, prasad, nothing. But then she said, can I hug you? I love Hare Krishna people. They're always full of energy. They're always smiling. They're always singing and dancing. So that is how Prabhupada made everybody. On the roads when we go and dance and sing, those who are of happy nature, they come and join you. They just are more interested in dancing and singing. And yesterday also when we were dancing and singing on the streets, there was young boys, they were sitting and they were drinking beer or something. They were enjoying their life in their own way. But then when they saw the placard, they wanted to know, what is this? What is written here? What does this word mean, Hare Krishna? And then we all stood there and Prabhuji was telling them, oh, this Hare Krishna word means this. And they joined in dancing with us. They wanted to dance. And then and then seeing them dancing, more people came in. More young boys came in. So this is why this is happening, how this has happened. This is all the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. And Prabhupada gave Bhagavatam for us to understand that this is the most important activity. This is a part of bhakti. Chanting and singing and dancing. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was questioned by Mayavadis, that why do you dance and sing? Why are you not serious and sit and argue and chat on this discuss the important scriptures. Just sit and have discussion. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, my Guru Maharaj thought that I am the biggest fool in this world. So he just gave me this service of dancing and singing the glories of Krishna. That's all. So we are all like that. We have the Bhagavatam, but the crux of Bhagavatam is that only, going on the street singing and dancing and chanting the holy name with full faith. And how does the faith increases? By reading Bhagavatam. When we read Bhagavatam, we hear Bhagavatam, our faith, our nishtha, it increases. Because the main reason is that we don't have the faith. When we have the faith, we will love to do what Prabhupada is saying. Because our faith becomes stronger day by day by going deeper and deeper into the scriptures. So likewise, Parikshit Maharaj wants to know everything. He wants to know that what will happen and how this Jambudvipa, what is this Jambudvipa? And then it says here about the, my dear Lord, the rolling wheels of Maharaj Priyavrat chariot created 7 ditches in which the 7 oceans came into existence. So as I told you in the beginning, King Priyavrat, he did not want to go ahead with the creation, like the ruling over the creation. He wanted to go deep into bhakti. But then on the orders of Brahmaji, he took over. And then he took his chariot and he created 7 ditches. He took around the whole globe with his chariots and he created the divisions. And which 7 oceans came into existence. And because of these 7 oceans, Bhumandal is divided into 7 islands. And you have given a very general description of their measurement, names and characteristics. Now I wish to know of them in detail. This is Parikshit Maharaj again asking. I want to know in detail. I want to know what is there, what is bhakti. So we should be inquisitive for that. What is bhakti? What I should do? What can I do more? How can I please my spiritual father more? What services I can do? So likewise, your faith will keep on increasing and your services, if the service increases, it means the mercy is increasing upon you. Mercy is more mercy you're getting. The more services you have, more mercy is flowing. More service you are doing to Vaishnavas, more elevated you will become. At the end, the benefit is ours. We are going to benefit. We give more, but we get more. We give more service, we get more. More surrender we give, we get more attachment to the bhakti, to spiritual master, to the services, to the instructions. So this is how then Parikshit Maharaj is asking, when the mind is fixed upon Supreme Personality of Godhead in his external feature made of the material modes of nature, the gross universal form, it is brought to the platform of pure goodness. In that transcendental position, one can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva, who in his subtler form is self-effulgent and beyond modes of nature. So Parikshit Maharaj is asking, because he's been advised by his spiritual father, his spiritual guru is Shukdev Goswami right now. And he is asking him about everything in detail, that Krishna's universal form we all know. He showed everything there is into him, his universal form when he expanded. The whole Prakriti is his. It is him only. So he is now inquisitive about that. The universal form is certainly material, but because everything is an expansion of the energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, ultimately nothing is material. So Prabhupada saw in everything he saw Krishna. It's creation of Krishna. So Krishna's energy is non-different to Krishna. So for a devotee, nothing is material because everything is transformed into spiritual. So that's why I'm just actually brushing you up with the previous verses so that we know the context where we are. Because today's verse does not have a purport. It is just speaking about, again, the mountain Sumeru. So when it's here that so many questions of Parikshit Maharaj, and he's questioning whom? His guru, his spiritual father. And that is how one should be. Inquiring tadviti pranipatena priprashnena sevya. That's what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. One should approach a spiritual master and inquire from him. The right source, a bona fide disciple coming from disciplic succession, such a spiritual master should be approached and asked, and should be asked these questions. And you ask the spiritual father that what next you should do. Instructions are important. That's why Prabhupada, when he left the planet, he made it clear that the Guru never leaves his disciples. He's always there. He cannot be seen in the Vapu form, but in the Vani form, he's always there. So in his Vani, in his instructions, he lives. The spiritual father lives in his instructions. So one should actually take up to the instructions of the spiritual master very seriously, because they are not just spoken for the sake of speaking. A guru never speaks for the sake of speaking, like in the material world. But his every word is meant to give you an instruction. Every word is meant for us to follow. And that's how Parikshit Maharaj is questioning again and again. He's been advised by his spiritual master that what to do. And Shukdev Goswami said that Krishna can expand. There is no limit to the expansion of Supreme Personality of Godhead's material energy. This material world is a transformation of the material qualities. So this whole material world is made of mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. And there is no end to it. So this is how the Jambudvip is, that it has 9 divisions of the land, and the division of the land has been measured and given, the measurements have been also given here. Imagine. So it is, everything is given to the minutest details come from the Bhagavatam. You will read more and more as you will go further. You will read a lot of more things, and you have actually read also earlier in the 3rd canto even, when Devahuti is told by Kapil Bhagwan that how a jiva comes to this world, how a child is born, how he is in the embryo, how as an embryo he is in the mother's womb, he expands. So this is how every detail is there. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that he is given a quote from here, from Prabhupada quotes Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, and he quotes a shloka from Vayu Puran. So there are 108 Upanishads and 18 Puranas. And Prabhupada gives us the knowledge from the Puranas, the condensed knowledge coming from other Upanishads and Puranas in the commentaries, the purports of Bhagavatam. So how fortunate we are. We have no time to go and deep into those scriptures. They are so difficult for us to understand. Bhagavatam being so simple is very difficult for us to understand. What to speak of the other scriptures. But the ultimate crux is this, that those who are in the Bharatavarsha, those who have taken birth there, they are very fortunate because they can perform bhakti. Without bhakti, Krishna cannot be attained. It's simple that without bhakti, Krishna, you cannot reach Krishna, you cannot go back to Godhead. So the Bharatavarsha is the only place where liberation can be attained. There is no other place where one can get liberated. So we are very fortunate to be there. And Sumeru mountain, talking about there is no purport to the coming shlokas till the end. So because this is, only one shloka has got a purport, the last one, the 29th. So today we are on 26th. On the 29th has a purport where Prabhupada is talking that Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur confirms that the townships of Lord Brahma and the 8 subordinate governors of the planetary system, beginning with Indra, are mentioned in other Puranas. So surrounding, he speaks here, I think so I should take the other verses as well, because they don't have, in Delhi we usually take the verses, all the verses, where no purports are there. On the eastern side of Sumeru mountain are 2 mountains named Jatrat and Devakuta. And similarly on the western side of Sumeru are 2 mountains named Pavana and Pariyatra, on which also extend north and south for the same distance. On the southern side of Sumeru are 2 mountains named Kailash and Karavira, which extend east and west for 18,000 yojanas. And on the northern side of Sumeru, extended from the same distance, east and west, are 2 mountains, Trishringa and Makara. So this is being declared, and it's been explained that how Sumeru is surrounded by mountains. And Sumeru, a mountain of solid gold, shining as brilliantly as fire, is surrounded by these 8 mountains, 8 big mountains, and many small mountains. So this is a mountain, solid gold, made of solid gold. In the middle of the summit of Sumeru is a township of Lord Brahma. Each of its 4 sides is calculated to extend for 10 million yojans. It is made entirely of gold, and therefore learned scholars and sages call it Shatak Kumbhi. So this is the Brahma's township, in the middle of the summit of the Meru. And now, in the describing, surrounding the Brahmapuri in all directions are the residences of the 8 principal governors, because there are 8 mountains, big mountains, so they have principal governors, those who are managing there. And beginning with King Indra. These abodes are similar to Brahmapuri, but are 1/4 the size. So Brahmapuri is the biggest. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur confirms that the townships of Lord Brahma and the 8 subordinate governors of the planetary systems, beginning with Indra, are mentioned in other Puranas. So Prabhupada confirms this, that it is not, it's the evidence that what Bhagavatam is speaking, it has been mentioned in the other Puranas also. Brahma's township is known as Manovati, and those of his assistants, such as Indra and Agni, are known as Amravati, Tejovati, Samyami, Krishnangana, Shraddhavati, Gandhavati, Mahodaya, and Yashovati. Brahmapuri is situated in the middle, and the other 8 puris surround it in all directions. So Brahmapuri being the biggest, and the rest are governed by King Indra, King that's the Vayu. These all are demigods. They are the god of rains, they are god of winds. So you have all the demigods. And you know, we have all the witnesses. Somebody may ask, who is witnessing what we are doing here? So all these demigods are the witness. Krishna says, I have got all my sources. They all actually are recording everything what we are doing. When we take breath, what we speak, because breath helps us to speak. So what we speak, it is being recorded. What we do, how we talk, what actions we do, everything is being recorded. We went recently, 2 years back, we went to Bharmor in Champa district. So there we went, I had just gone through the net and came to know, that would interest Prabhuji. He travels to the temples, he must go there. I don't know if you've been there or not. So you must go. It's Bharmor. There is a deity, a big, huge deity of Lord Narasimha that was installed like 1200 years back. And there are Churasi, there's a big complex, it's called Churasi temples. So there are small and big, 84 temples they say, and some are open, they have closed them. So there are tiny, tiny temples and a big temple of Shivji even. And there is, because in the mountains they worship Durga a lot. So they have temples of Durga also there. So, and there is a temple of Yamaraj. There is a temple where they say that's the only temple of Yamaraj. I'm not aware of that. But we went there, and there is this Yamaraj deity inside. And outside they have made in a courtroom there is, you stand in the Katgara, they call it. You stand in that box. So they have created a box there with you have a fencing around it, and that's a box. And they say every living entity, when they leave their body, they are brought here. Because this is the box where Chitragupt is there, and then he narrates all the details of the person to Yamaraj. So Chitragupt, Chitragupt, the meaning in Hindi is who is clicking pictures in a Gupta way, in a confidential, secretive manner. That's why he's called Chitragupt. Chitra khichte hain Gupta roop se. So he's clicking pictures, he's making files of every one of us. Every action we perform, our picture is clicked, and our video is gone there, it's recorded there. So Chitragupt, whenever a person dies, he's brought there, his soul is brought there, and then the judgment that happens there, where he has to be sent. Either the Yamaraj, actually the Yamdutas, they take the persons, not the devotees. It says, Bhagavatam clarifies this. Those who are devotees will not be touched by Yamaraj. But those who are actually not devotees and very materialistic, they commit, and then they are in the mode of passion, they commit sins, and they will be brought to Yamaraj. And the huge deity of Narsingh Devji is there, and the best part is those Narsingh Devji deities, the Pujari, they are so liberal that you can go and touch the deity, you can embrace the deity. It's a huge deity. And the Pujari told us, He said, very well educated pujari. He was not somebody who was illiterate. He was educated. He told us that he did Mangalarti every day at 4:30. It's a small town, a small village come town. And we reached there, and then there was only one guest house that's run by the government. And we got a room there, and then it was a bit on a top, and we had to drive down for like steep slope it was. We had to come down to the temple. I and Prabhuji went for the Mangalarti. There was no one except the pujari and both of us. So he said, but I do come. It snows a lot there. He said, in snow also I come. At 4:30, I do the Aarti here, and that Aarti then goes to Shivji. He knew the process, imagine. He said, then the Aarti is taken to Shivji, to the temple of Shivji, and then to the Mata. So different demigoddesses there were. So likewise, he was following this. And he said, we offer bhoga to Narsingh Devji. That is without onion garlic. And that comes from my home. My wife cooks it and it comes here. And we offer him this. And in the town, he said, the locals, they knew if they had eaten onion garlic that day, they will not enter Narsingh Dev temple. They will not come there. They would only come when they were totally purified, no onion and no garlic, no alcohol, nothing. Then they come to this temple. So, beautiful temple. And the deities were brought by, they said, a queen. She insisted to her husband that she wanted a long time back, 1200 years ago, when the king was ruling there, his wife, she insisted on having Narsingh Devji there. And then Narsingh Devji was brought. And it's a big bronze, it's a metal. The deity is in metal and a huge 6 feet to like 8 or 10 feet must be. And big, huge. I have got pictures in my iPhone. It's amazing it is. And that experience was, I never knew it. We just reached there, it was Bharmor. It was Ekadashi, Nirjala Ekadashi, the day was there, 11th of June. It was 2021 or 2022, I believe. We were there and then suddenly my phone rang up. We were in the hotel, we had just checked in and actually the way to Bharmor is also not very good. It's all, the mountains are the ones that keep on falling. The landslides keep on happening and the way is not good. Recently it had a lot of tragedies happen in the recent now. But then, I'm talking a few years back, 2-3 years back. So when we reached there and we checked in and suddenly my phone rang up and it was Guru Maharaj again. And I just was surprised. And he said, where are you? I said, Maharaj, I'm in Bharmor. We have come here to have darshan of Lord Narasimha. And he said, where is that? And I was telling him, it is not very safe, the journey is not very safe, but we made it. We have reached here. And then it was Prabhuji's birthday, my husband's birthday that day, Nirjala Ekadashi day. And I said, Guru Maharaj, we plan to go to the temple and do some kirtan there. And then he said, all the best and come back safe and well. And so we went to the temple, did some kirtan there. It was very blissful, surrounded by mountains. And they were all, it's in Himachal, Chamba, it is on the top. It's extremely beautiful place. But with Lord Narasimha, it was all the more very, very pious and very full of devotion. So we were there. So you see, this is how the Bharatvarsha is. Actually, I want to convey this. That every nook and corner of Bharatvarsha, you will find the bhakti flowing, overflowing. Wherever, if you are interested, if you are into it, Krishna will take you there. But recently we were in Melukote. Just this May, I was in Melukote. I don't know how many of you know about Melukote. It's Ramanuja Acharya's huge, this complex, this temple is there. So in my heart, I always had a desire. I don't know how many of you know about Bibi Nachiyar. Nobody knows, I believe. Bibi Nachiyar is a character. She is a Muslim lady and she's called the Muslim bride of Krishna. She's Bibi Nachiyar. So her deity is there in Melukote at the lotus feet of the deity, the big deity of Krishna. There's a small tiny deity that is of Bibi Nachiyar at the lotus feet. That was installed few hundred years back. If you will Google, you will come to know of Bibi Nachiyar. there was a Mughal king in Delhi. He was a general to the Mughal king. He actually had a daughter, and the main king, the emperor, had sent this person, this general, to the south of India to plunder the temples. They used to plunder the temples. They used to rob away the temples, steal the things, take them away. They used to do, and likewise they came to Melukote. They came to Melukote, his soldiers, they plundered the temple. They took the deity of Krishna back to Delhi. And they thought the deity of Krishna was made of pure gold. We are talking about Sumeru mountain as gold. And that they thought the brass, the shining, the deities were shining, effulgent. And they thought, and it was that, they were made of gold. And they took it back to melt it and take out the gold. But now they took it back to Delhi. And when they reached the courtroom, the deities were shown to the king, the general, and his daughter was there at that moment. She was 12, 13-year-old girl. She was sitting with her father. And when she saw the deities, she said, I want this doll. This doll is very beautiful. I want to play with this doll. And the general gave the deity to his daughter. He did not melt them. And now back in Melukote, they came to know the deities have reached Delhi, but they have not been melted as yet. The deities are intact. They are there. So now they planned how to go back to Delhi and get these deities. So they say Ramanujacharya, he planned it all, and they went to the courtroom of that general, and there as Nata, Nat means those who dance and they please the king with their cultural activities, their dance and all, singing and dancing. So they made a troupe and went there, and they did all that, and the general was happy with their dancing and all. And then he said, what do you want from me? What should I give you? They said, we want, there you have a deity, you have a small vigraha with you, we want that you give that to us. And he was very much tired of his daughter playing with that, because his daughter would feed the deity, sleep with the deity, every day she would be there around the deity. So she was mesmerized with the deities. So now the general was very much like he wanted to get rid of the deities. He said the deities were brought and given back to them. Now the people of Ramanujacharya, they knew that the general is very cunning. He will give it to us and then they will rob it from us on the way back. He will send his army again behind us and he'll get it robbed. So now what they did, they took the deity and they separated their ways. Some went that way, some went this way, just to confuse the general's army. Now when the daughter came to know, Nachiyar, when she came to know the deities have gone, she became mad with separation. It says she took a horse. She went to the south of India on her own. She left the palace and she went away to south of India. And when it says she went there and the deities were already segregated, sent in different parties with different parties, the deity was again hidden and it reached late to the Melukote. But she had reached earlier and she kept on sitting on the staircase waiting for the deities. She could not have darshan of the deities. She was waiting for them and she left her body. She left her body in separation for the deities. There is a samadhi, you have to climb a hill, and we went to the samadhi of Bibi Nachiyar. It's on the top of the hill. And then she passed away. And then Krishna, Ramanujacharya, they say that he was, in the dream, Krishna said, her deity should be installed with me. She's my bride. And they have placed a very tiny deity at the feet of the big deity of Krishna. And that Bibi Nachiyar is still there. And every year they celebrate the wedding of Krishna, Vishnu with Bibi Nachiyar. And then Krishna comes in the dream and says, she is from north of India. In south of India, they offer the bhoga of rice and other things. She said, no, she's from north of India. So you must cook chapatis for her and that to be brought to me and then taken to her. So she will offer, like the bhoga should be offered of chapatis to me and this should be taken to her. And when we went to Melukote, many don't know about the story. They just go for darshan of the deity. Beautiful deities they have, beautiful temple it is. So I went and I knew Bibi Nachar is there at his feet. So I asked the pujari, we had gone through some person who had organized for us in a special VIP way. So we were inside, in the inner sanctum we were there. So I asked the pujari, I said, please, I want to have darshan of Bibi Nachar. And then he removed all the tulsi, he removed everything, all the garlands, all the flowers from the feet of Krishna. And then he showed us that small deity of Bibi Nachar. He said, there she is. So you see, such beautiful stories we have, such beautiful, it's reality, it has happened. She left everything, she went to the south, and then she leaves body for Krishna. So such beautiful things we come to know that happened in Bharatvarsha. So how important Bharatvarsha is. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. So any question anybody has? I've brought my books back with me if anybody wants. We have the books. Likewise, you just heard these stories. There are beautiful incidents, beautiful stories from the Guru Granth Sahib even that talk about Krishna. We'll talk more about it in the evening also. We have a program at Prabhuji's home. So I plan to do more katha, more stories that will really actually make our faith strong. In my books even, when Guru Maharaj, when he gave a foreword to my book, he wrote it there that if you really want to develop a strong faith, nishtha, for the Guru, so you read these interfaith books and your nishtha will become more stronger. We have to read, of course, the Srimad Bhagavatam, but then we read with the Bhagavatam quotes, because in my books I've given the similar quotes from the Bhagavad Gita and from the Bhagavatam, and those make it more easy for us to understand that yes, this is what the scriptures talk about. So in the Guru Granth Sahib it says that without serving the spiritual master, one cannot go back to Godhead. There is no way out. You have to serve. Parikshit Maharaj is serving Shukdev Goswami. He's giving oral reception to the instructions of Shukdev Goswami. So it says here that without serving, it says, without serving the Thakur, how can you go back to Godhead? One can never go back to Godhead without serving Thakur. And how you serve Thakur? Guru Sevete Thakur Jani. Those who are serving their spiritual master, they will only go back to they will only know Thakur. They will only know Krishna. Without serving spiritual master, one cannot know Krishna. Because Krishna does not reveal to. It's all about He revealing to us. We cannot, with our little intelligence, that is why we are reading this Jambudvip. It's so huge, nobody can understand Jambudvip. You get so confused while reading Bhagavatam. How many yojans, so much, lakhs and lakhs of kilometers. How will we sustain this with this little brain? So this is how because Krishna will reveal in your heart. That's what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. Tesham ivanukum partam aham agyanam jamtama. I reveal my knowledge in your heart. I give you enlightenment. So this is how Krishna reveals in your heart. How? When you serve your spiritual master. Guru Sevete Thakur Jane. So these lines are from the Guru Granth Sahib. So likewise, when I wrote this book, there's another, as I said today, I can't see, I promised a couple yesterday, the Jayapataka Maharaj disciples, I told them, I'll tell you all about how this book came up and how Jayapataka Maharaj is connected with this book of mine. He even gave a testimonial at the back. Thank you for this wonderful contribution. I pray you can make many pure devotees. Your ever well-wisher, Jayapataka Swami. So this is in 2007. So in the evening I will narrate the whole story, that how Guru Jayapataka Maharaj blessed me and how this book came up. How my Guru Maharaj, how Jayapataka Maharaj, then how Jayadvaita Maharaj, he took this book around. And first this book, I'm taking around, distributing this book, but this book first was taken around the world by Jayapataka Swami himself. He took it around. He got copies from me the day it got printed. He took it to Hong Kong, London, everywhere. Then he met me in London Rath Yatra And he picks up the book and tells, everybody must get a copy of this. And he personally, I've got pictures with me where he personally asked me to read the whole book to him. He kept on eating prasadam and I was reading the whole book to him. So the mercy of the Guru is very important. Whether it's it doesn't matter, like he's not my spiritual father. My spiritual father is His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj. But Jayapataka Maharaj and other sannyasis, they are no less for me. They have given so much of affection and love and so much of blessings. The mercy of the Vaishnavas is important. So they don't make any difference that, oh, you are the disciple of that Guru or this Guru. They don't make. We think sometimes, oh, this is the disciple of that Guru or this Guru. But they don't think. Now when this book came out, Death the Unstoppable, I was writing in the March 2024, I was writing this. And Guru Maharaj went away in April. And I was supposed to offer this to my Guru Maharaj on his Vyas Puja, that was in August. And I was waiting for a foreword from my Guru Maharaj. I told my Guru Maharaj, I'm writing this book, a book. And he said, what is the title of your book? And I said, it's Death the Unstoppable. And Guru Maharaj said, very nice title, Radhika Kripa. And then, unfortunately, he was not physically present when this book came out. And then Radhanath Maharaj had come over to attend his Vyasa Puja. So I walked to him and I said, please take this book to my Guru Maharaj. I can't, I was so emotional. I said, I want you, Maharaj, to take this to my Guru Maharaj. And then he went to the big picture of Guru Maharaj. He took the book, he opened it, he read it to Guru Maharaj, he placed the book before him, and then he prayed to Guru Maharaj to accept it. So this is how the mercy flows. One should actually crave for the mercy of Vaishnavas. We should always linger for the mercy of Vaishnavas. That's what Parikshit Maharaj is teaching us here. He's praying to his spiritual master, he's seeking the mercy. He wants the mercy of his Guru so that he gets the mercy of Vaishnavas. Haribol. So you can get these books with Prabhuji is holding. We have 5 books in all. So these are the beautiful books, and this is actually my journey with my Guru Maharaj. It's a big, huge book with a hardbound, and previously I had written memoirs when he was very much present. In 2023, I had offered him the book called Memoirs with My Spiritual Father. So my Guru Maharaj went through it. But when he left, I added another 100 pages to it and another 100 pictures to it. So it's got a lot of beautiful pictures of my journey with Guru Maharaj and that how I got initiated. And it's 26 years back, that how we met him, many pictures, and how we went through so many places. We traveled with him, we served him, me and my Prabhuji. And there are even to Golden Temple. I went twice with Guru Maharaj to Golden Temple. And how he blessed us. So you can see the pictures of him traveling with us to Golden Temple. So you can find a lot of stories how one should surrender to spiritual father. And that's what I have written in this book, to inspire the world so that everybody can see how fortunate we are, that we have got such beautiful journey to do with Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. So any question anybody has? Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
So my question is that since Krishna is unlimited, right, because through his Vishnu expansion, right? So why is it that our beat counting has been limited to 108 in one set?
There are 108 Upanishads. 108 is a very pious number. It's a very number that helps us in bhakti. So everywhere, the chanting of the holy name is there advocated in every man-made dharma. You go to Christianity, you go to Muhammad, everybody, they chant. And 108 is very pious number. There are 108, the Krishna's gopis are prime, 108, and the 8 are most prime. So the head beat is actually Krishna, and we revolve around Krishna. Our journey is all around Krishna. So that is why 108 is the Sankhya Purvak. Even the Goswamis speak of that. The Sankhya Purvak Naam, there has to be chanted. So it's important for us to get into Vaidhi Bhakti. Vaidhi Bhakti is all rules and regulations. First we question why 108 beats, then you question why not offer this to Krishna? This is made by Krishna himself. Why not offer this to Krishna? Why not this? Why are we following four regulative principles? We have heard throughout our lives, oh, we have to chant from heart, our heart should be good, our heart should be pure. But how will you purify your heart? How will we understand? How will we understand the greatness of Bhagavatam? Unless our heart is purified. So that's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Cheto Darpanam Marjanam, the first verse. And that's what Guru Nanak Dev Ji said. Moot paliti kapade de sabun laya dhue, bhariye mat papa ke sang odobe, nave kera. We have a dirty body, we can wash with soap. Dirty soiled clothes can be washed with soap. Body can be washed with soap if it's dirty. But what about your mind? How will we wash that mind of ours? That can only be cleansed, only be cleaned by the holy name, by the chanting of the name of Hari. There is no other way out. So the chanting is restricted to beads. First, we have to understand that beads is important. Even if you see the picture of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, he is holding a mala. Guru Gobind Singh Ji, a warrior, is holding a mala. You see the picture of Shiv Ji, he is holding a mala. So everybody is holding beads. Shiv Ji doesn't need to hold beads. He's already renunciate, fully renunciate. We live in a house. He lives under a tree. He made the Lanka made of gold. He gifted it to his disciple, his devotee. So he is the perfect in renunciation. He doesn't need beads even. He remembers Krishna all the time. But still, this is shown to the world, yes, beads are important. Chanting on beads is extremely important because it's got that energy, that potency. And 108 is a very auspicious number. So that is why when we get the beads, the main beads is when we get initiated. And those beads come with full potency. The Guru has chanted on the beads first, and then he transfers a part of his energy, he empowers us, he sends the energy to us. So we are very fortunate to receive those beads and chant on them, because that's the energy, the potency coming to us. So that empowerment is required for chanting, required for going back to Godhead. If you really want to go back to Godhead, we got to have the energy. So enthusiasm, where do we get the enthusiasm? Every day you remember your spiritual father, you pray to him sincerely, and of course you will get all the enthusiasm. So that is why chanting Sankhya Purvak is very important. 108 beats, 16 rounds, given by the spiritual master. It's in his instruction. Whereas Prabhupada said 64 rounds is a must every day. But then it's his mercy that he actually subtracted so many rounds and gave only 16 to us. So Guru Sevete Thakur Jane. Those who serve Guru, they will understand and they will go back. So he gave a very straightforward path and a simple path for us. And he gave us a lot of time for preaching. Had it been 64 rounds, it would have been very difficult to preach. So, but he gave 16. And that to just 1.5 hours to 2 hours in the morning, it's nothing. For the devotees, it is nothing. They have ample of time. Sometimes people ask us, where do you get the time? I say, we've got ample of time. If you get up 3:30 in the morning, you have enough time in the whole day to work upon for Krishna and do your material things as well. So I hope it's clear. Yes.
Just following up on that, my last question is that if you could just guide me with some references from any of the scriptures, like from our bona fide scriptures about, because since you mentioned about there are 108 Puranas and 108
Upanishads, 18 Puranas, yeah.
So the mention of this, if it's there in the scriptures or
you come in the evening, I'll get it for you. I'll get the evidences where it's mentioned. Why 108? Prabhupada has mentioned many where he's mentioned it. I'll bring that quote for you. No worries. But it is bona fide that we chant 108. You see, even if I know in the Gurudwaras, my father, he had beads and there were 27 beads. So 27 was again an odd number, multiplied by this many makes it 108. So 108 is important. So that is why It's even the 108 gopis and the 8 primary, the thread is tied at the 8. So we have heard this from our spiritual father and we accept it. So likewise, somebody says you have to make words with ABC. We can't make words with any other alphabets. A, B, C, A to Z. We have only these 26 alphabets to make words. So we don't question that why not more? Why 50? Why not 60, 50? We have only 26. Why? So there are some things we can't say why to them because they have been made for us like that. That's it. So we should accept. Some things are to be accepted as they are. Anyway, if I look for it, if I find, I'll get it.
So the reason I was asking is because when I speak to some of people who
people will ask you lots of things.
Yeah, because I can't give reference at a time and I get dumbstruck for a moment.
No, you should not. You should be very confident what Prabhupada is saying.
I knew about the 108, the gopis and all, but
but they won't agree because gopis' topic is something very confidential. So they won't accept it. But 108 Upanishads is the right, you can always say.
I knew about it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't know about that one, but with the gopis, I only knew about, so my knowledge.
No, you can tell about the Upanishads. Everybody knows in the world there are 108 Upanishads. And 108 is a very auspicious number in Bhakti. Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji wants to add something.
Thank you so much.
Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, in the last verse of the 10th chapter, he says, what is the need of all this detailed knowledge? So one could say, like, it sounds like it's a contradiction. Like we have to read so much, learn
And
so
then why
much,
there's no need for it?
But then,
Yes.
I'd like to talk about that.
It's absolutely right. Because we accept the words of the spiritual father. And why there's a need for confrontation even. Krishna says that. But then, of course, if you want to satisfy someone, I'll get the quotes, but the 108 Upanishads is fine. And those who don't want to chant, they have millions and millions of excuses. You see, atheists have got hundreds of better arguments than what a theist has. If atheists want to establish that there is no God, they have got hundreds of reasons to say. And for us, it will be very difficult to prove even that, yes, Krishna is the most important. We are theists. But they forget, atheist word comes from theist only. If you are theist, then only atheist comes. So that's it. Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji. You asked, huh? You want to ask. Very well.
I just want to ask, how can one be fortunate enough to have a spiritual master?
Yes. That is why the Bhagavatam proves it, that when we are very, very inquisitive, when we are very eager, Krishna sends the spiritual father. He appears in your life. And like you are here in the temple itself, you are at the shelter of Srila Prabhupada. Those who are not initiated, those who enter, and they are very inquisitive, they bow down before Srila Prabhupada. So Srila Prabhupada is the preeminent Shiksha Guru for everybody. So there are 4 kinds of Guru. The first is Marg Pradaksha Guru, the one who brought you to the temple, like we did Kirtan yesterday. So many got influenced, somebody would be inquiring, from where they are, which temple they have come, where they belong. They might enter the temple here. So that is Marg Pradaksha Guru. You act in any form, you are on the roads, wherever you preach, you can be a Marg Pradaksha Guru for anyone, those who come. So the second is the Shiksha Guru. So Prabhupada is preeminent Shiksha Guru for everyone. You just heard his purports, you heard his commentaries, you bow down before him, you do his arti with the devotees. So he is blessing you. You have entered. So he is appeared in your life. And now the third appearance will be of a formal Diksha Guru. Because when you have entered, he is a Shiksha Guru, and you may find many more devotees. You may be listening to them, they will guide you, they will become, Shiksha Gurus can be many. But you follow one mentor, not to be confused. So we follow one mentor, and when we follow one mentor, it happens so that he will introduce us to other Diksha Gurus as well. So now it is up to your discretion, whom your wavelength goes with, whom you want to surrender. You may get 3-4 meetings, 3-4 gurus here, and you may choose one. It's up to you. And you may choose one with whom you feel that you have a connection, with whom you can open your heart. You can talk to him and you receive the knowledge from him. So that's how a Diksha Guru appears in your life. And the fourth is Chaitya Guru, that's Krishna himself. So once you're connected to the Diksha Guru, you start chanting sincerely, you're doing japa on the beads that you've got. Now your connection with the Diksha Guru is becoming more and more strong. Then Chaitya Guru Krishna starts revealing in your heart. So that's the process. So that's how you will start understanding Bhagavatam, you will start understanding what you listen, because Chaitya Guru is responding with you. Hare Krishna. So we end the session here. Anybody who wants the books can please contact him. We have few copies only. Last year they were all finished here when I had got, and they were, even Prabhuji was left with none. He could not get one for himself even. So thank you everybody for joining in. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapurana ki jai, Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Thank you, Prabhuji. Ki jai.